Hello and welcome to Informational Friday. Today I'm going to talk about how to schedule your time so that you're both productive and you prioritize your self-care. So I love scheduling and time management and productivity and leveraging time. So it's something I'm really passionate about, but I'm going to try to keep this between 5 and 10 minutes because I can get excited. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is setting your priorities. So make a list of what your priorities are and differentiate between your needs and your wants. So you need to go grocery shopping so that your family has food. You need to go to your job, or you need to work on your business, or you need to homeschool your children. Those are things that are your responsibilities that you need to do. There are other things that you want to do, and so those may not, you may want to say yes every time a friend invites you to go to coffee or out for a drink or those sort of things, but it's not a need, it's a want. So differentiating between those things is really, really important. And then you figure out how much time those things take. So how much time do you need? So for example, I was working with a client yesterday and she's a female entrepreneur, and I was helping her with her scheduling. And so I helped her to take her paper planner and create a scheduling link that integrated with her Google Calendar that way. And then we batched time. So she had 5 different types of appointments. And I walked her through, okay, for this type of appointment, what days of the week do you want to do it on? What times are you available? Those sort of things. So there's different ways of doing it. That's like the business side of what your availability is. For me, myself, I have to block. Right now I'm blocking 3 to 4 hour blocks of time to just work on the business without interruption, where meetings cannot be made. So just being able to block and batch that time is really, really important, and that affects your productivity. Because if you have a meeting every hour or every 2 hours, you're basically like mobilizing and demobilizing over and over again, and it's really, really inefficient. Whereas if you have chunks of time to work on things, and that goes for household things as well. So it's cooking. If you want, you can do batch cooking. So you can cook 4 or 5 meals for the whole week. You can do, I have a friend that does freezer meals, so she'll cook or prep 40 meals and put them all in the freezer. That way it's like grab and go, throw it in the crock pot, and she's all set. So it can take 3-4 hours to do all those meals, but then she's all set for a month. So doing things like that, so that that really increases your productivity, whether it's business or personal. Okay, so things that you need to schedule are household things, work, childcare, self-care, relationships, and white space. So that's where you block it. So for me, I know that I need about an hour, at least an hour a day for my self-care. So that could show up as me getting up early and doing my morning routine. And I know at the minimum I want to do my workout, and I want to journal, and I want to meditate. And sometimes I don't have time in the morning, so I do it at another time, but I try to block that time out. And same thing at the end of the day, I bookend my day with my evening routine, which is usually reading, probably a bath 50% of the time, and sometimes journaling if I haven't done it. And then sometimes I often have a block in the middle of the day for me to have lunch. So blocking lunch, eating is important. And sometimes I'll meditate in the middle of the day just to kind of reset me, whether it's before the kids come home, or from going to a meeting to doing working on something else. It's really, really important to schedule it all and have it in there. And then also setting boundaries. So you need to have the ability to say no. You don't have to say yes to every single thing that you're invited to or asked to do. And that's where you learn how to delegate your tasks or ask for help, because a lot of women feel really alone, whether they have a husband or whether they're single moms. They feel like they have to do it all, and it's because they say yes to everything, or they feel obligated to say yes to everything, and they don't ask for help because then they feel this feeling of shame or guilt that they aren't able to do it themselves. But in reality, it's just not realistic to do it all yourself. So saying no, saying yes to yourself, and saying yes to blocking that time for yourself. So, okay, I am not going to do any social activities after 7 o'clock at night because I really value going to bed at 9. It's really important to me at this time of my life. So, and then you can take time to answer. So I know a lot of people, they feel like if somebody asks them something, they have to answer right then. And that's a lot of our, the social media, email, texting society that we live in, where we feel like, oh, we got to respond right now just because we got it. Just like you feel you have to pick up your phone the second it dings because it's just this innate thing. But taking boundaries and saying, when do you need to know by? Or let me get back to you, and just sitting with it and feeling how it feels, and getting back in touch with your intuition about how that feels. Or setting, I know I've worked with some clients to set boundaries as far as, okay, I'm only going to do one activity in the evening each week, or one activity that's planned ahead on a weekend. That way you have some space to do something spontaneous, because sometimes those spontaneous moments, the unplanned time, is really, really special. But like blocking that white space so you have that flexibility, because I know a lot of women that I know, it's to get them to be able to schedule a time on a weekend or at all, it's like 2-3 months out, and it's just not necessary. Your schedule doesn't have to look like that. So this is something that is so important, and can give you so much more space, and it can really, really, really leverage your time, but also decrease your stress level. So like I was telling you before, I was helping a female entrepreneur with her schedule yesterday, and the idea behind it is A, to have more control over her schedule, B, to be more efficient with her time, and C, to allow her to have an idea of what her schedule is going to look like ahead of time, and to be okay with setting those boundaries. Like, okay, I only have this block of time on Fridays to do these face-to-face meetings, and if that doesn't work for somebody, then they're going to have to schedule out further. So it's really, really important. And then I'm doing a similar session with another client on more of a personal level. She's a full-time, she's a mom, she works full-time, and now she's starting school, and she's really, really stressed about how she's going to get it all in. So we're going to sit down and we're going to go over what her time requirements are, what she currently has available, what she needs to do, and then seeing what she can pass off to her husband, or getting, extra childcare, those sort of things, so that she can fit in, so looking at how long the schooling part's going to take, because she doesn't have to do it all. So it's really, really, really important stuff. So if you need help with this sort of thing in your business or in your personal life, I would love to talk to you. It's something I'm really, really, really passionate about, and it comes very instinctively to me. So a lot of times it's helpful to have a third party that's not, in your day-to-day life, to look at the schedule and be like, well, what if it looked like this? Because a lot of times we think it has to be this certain way, and then another person that's outside of it says, makes a suggestion that's a little different. You're like, why didn't I think of that? But when you're in it, it's really hard to see it. So I hope that was helpful. If you need some help with scheduling and productivity and leveraging your time and your time management, go ahead and schedule a call with me at www.mayakristen.com/call. And whether it's for your personal life or for your business, I can see how I can help you, and we can go from there. Have a great weekend, everyone.